hearing you all, but we'll figure that out. I can just barely hear it. So yeah, building some better habits, maybe in terms of food choices, maybe getting a little more sleep if that's an area of need for you. Man, there's just like more and more evidence that comes out that really connects the dots to how important sleep is for us. I think and the studies also indicate Americans in particular are sort of not doing the job, of getting enough sleep. We're a country of folks that are sort of super achievers in general. Certainly, I think, Wayne's group is at the head of the class there, but we need to balance that again with, fitness, nutrition, and sleep. So my plan for this, and I've got 30 minutes blocked off. I don't, but I can go as long as you want, or maybe we're down to 22 minutes. But was really to field some questions. So if I just gave this one thought to you all first, if you've reflected on the progress you've made or not, just be straight, let's fix it, in the last 3 weeks, and I'll try to do some problem solving. Part of this whole thing is we all need to, in taking care of ourselves, to be agile enough to make some moves as you go. I like to say, there's no perfect workout, no perfect eating strategies. Up to us to take, principles, the solid principles of nutrition and fitness, and to employ them, but then just be agile enough to make adjustments as you go. So that being said, any questions? Go ahead. Or how's it going? How's it going generally? No questions.
So I have a quick question. We work out of the house because we're a remote company. And then we also, I was making an attempt to do all of my workouts at the house as well. We live on 250 acres. So I do my best to just go and do a walk or a jog in the afternoons and that type of stuff, especially to clear my mind after I'm stuck in the office all day, or if I'm podcasting or recording or whatever. But then I'm really struggling with the workout portion of it, I guess is the best way to say it. Like I bought the resistance bands that you mentioned, that you tagged in the group, and they work really cool and I like them. And I even have them right here so that like I can do periodic squats during the day. But I'm wondering if I just need to bite the bullet, go sign up for the local gym and force myself to get up at, 5 a.m. and go to the gym and then come back and get my kids and take them to school. Or what's your thoughts on that? I'm wondering if because I'm trying to do everything here at the house, if that's not part of my problem.
That's such a good question. And I know that a lot of people struggle to come up with, what's the best practices, for me. And I'm up from the school of behaviorism, which is to say, by the way, both of those strategies will work. It's just a matter of, from a lifestyle behavioral standpoint, what is best for you. And I've sort of made both of them at different times in my life work for me. Early in this pandemic, I was working, all the gyms were closed. So I was going to a local park with the same set of bands that you have. They're still in my trunk, and 3 sets of dumbbells. I mean, I just needed to get outside. So I found the park that was best suited for exercising outside. I did that for 5 months. And I don't think I lost very much. I mean, having said that, the 2 advantages that bring me now that my gym is open, they took most of the equipment at my local gym, put it outside, got to wear a mask. But 2 things I like about going to the gym for me that make that my go-to move, and that is, I do like the variety of equipment. Certainly you can't beat all that equipment there. And but probably, really above all, is I like being around other people. And that includes the people that I've gotten to know at my gym. And and also just seeing some different bodies around me, and kind of pulling on that energy. But I know that there's many people that like going to the gym and they don't interact with people. It's just not really, it's not what their personality is about. But so I like going. I like a destination above all. I like to go somewhere. That works for me. But just have the confidence to know, Tersh, that it can work for you either way. And you might even consider joining the gym on a short-term basis just to see if it fits you.
Good
Maybe
point.
a month membership or something, if that's possible.
Yeah, I think I wanted to say 2 years ago, but I'll be honest, it's probably been 10 years ago. I joined a gym, and it was one of those situations where it was like, all right, you have to sign a 3-year commitment to it. And I'm like,
Oh,
well, I don't know if I really want a 24-hour gym membership for 3 years. I mean, yeah, it's nice, but I mean, yeah, I like what you mentioned there at the end about getting a short-term membership or trying it out, a trial period or something like that to see if it's going to work with our schedule. Uh, so yeah, I appreciate that.
yeah.
Can I,
Good luck with that. Figure it
can
out.
I, well, not can I will muscle through it, so to speak. And I'm curious what Sean says. But like, Terse, are you doing, I have this blank calendar and I'm like filling it out and checking it off. That really helps me. And when Pete talked about going to the park, and you say you have 250 acres, but just brainstorming or idea, and you're in Georgia, so it's a little bit warmer. It's about to get like super hot, probably.
Yeah.
But for me, I certainly would, I have to get out of the house, and we're fortunate that we built the building. So I go to the building, at least I'm going to a place in the building, and that's where the weights are. And last night I've got this medicine ball workout. I sometimes do the video with the dude where I do it fast like he does it. And then I have all the exercise written down, and I use a heavier ball, but just do 12 reps. I did that last night, and I turned a movie on the smart TV out there, and or not a movie. I've been watching this silly show about Vikings. I say it's the man soap opera. And I watched my man soap opera, and I did my ball, and it was just a nice break to get out of the house and go somewhere.
That's a good point. That I think that's the struggle that I have. And no, I don't have it on a piece of paper. I have it. I've been, putting it in my phone, and that might be the difference, because just writing it down on a piece of paper may make that difference there.
Good. What else is going on? Who else has a comment? How's it going? I'm also, yeah, go ahead. I'm also interested in the food too, because very often that's a kind of a stumbling block for folks, but there's solutions for everything here.
Yeah, this is Sean, on the food side, I think that's been probably almost the biggest part for me. Is I've got that dialed in and pretty consistent with it. And I think, like I've written, when you get that much protein, you can't goof around. Like, there's no room really for garbage to stay under a calorie limit. I will say the other thing though is all my other stuff I've done in the past has been like distance, endurance, running or biking. The nice thing about this is I'm finding I can eat more, and I'm still like drop about a pound a week, which is kind of what I was shooting for, of scale weight coming off. And that's been kind of fun, eating good and eating actually more calories than I normally do, and still getting some results. But getting the food dialed in was pretty helpful for me.
Yeah, good. It's a very, it's a simple approach to eating, and it's based in science. It's highly effective. And if every American, 74% of all the adult population of the United States is overweight, if I could just get everybody's attention, I would tell them, don't overthink this thing. Mm-hmm. Consume more dietary protein. Be mindful of the rest. Mindful, it's a good word, but focus on the protein.
It's wild when you mentioned the fact that something stuck in my head from I think it might've been the first time that we interacted was, try, try getting fat by eating protein. And it's like,
chicken and salad. Good luck.
it won't happen. And I think that my big aha in this entire scenario has been that I wasn't eating enough. I like, so we have a full-time nanny that we hired last year, and she's been amazing, but that's been part of my problem because I literally don't have to leave the office. She just brings food in here. And I told her, like, okay, here's my routine. I don't want you giving me that quote unquote good stuff, because she'll butter stuff up. I mean, she's a Southern Belle cooker. I mean, she loves to cook. So I was like, look, protein, weigh it out, and this is how many I need per day. This is how much I need per day. And so she's bringing it in here. I'm like, I'm not hungry. She's like, it's time. You said this time. I'm like, okay, fine. So I'm eating it, and then it feels like 15 minutes later, she's back in here. Hey, I got a shake for you. I'm not hungry. And then so it was one of those things where I had to force myself. But then if I didn't, I find that like the week was last week, whenever I was out of town and I didn't work out hardly at all, I feel like I bloated up because I still stayed in that habit of eating. And, I made it a point to where I ate steaks versus having any kind of, super buttery and other food that I probably wouldn't normally have gotten. But I could feel like, whoo, I put weight on, and my my fat is going down whenever because I bought a scale that measures all that fancy stuff, and in my weekly check-in, my fat's going down, but my weight stays the same, or either it was going up. And I thought that was kind of weird, but like my target is to shift the weight, basically shift where the weight is. So I think that's my biggest aha moment, is the fact that I wasn't eating enough, and I probably was eating way too late in the day too.
And if you could just build in some consistency on the strength training, and everything's going to fall into place really beautifully. Just more consistency there. It's magical. So here, one anecdotal story to your point, Terse, like literally last week, I've got a buddy he's a neurosurgeon, and he's a little bit older than me. I think he's 62, but he's fit. And I've worked out with him many times, and he's a pretty strong guy. And he uses, so I walk in his office, and he's got a cardboard box, and he's eating eggs. He's eating scrambled eggs, right? And it's 3:00 in the afternoon, and he works with a nutrition guy. He's worked with the same guy on and off for years. And then this guy has him eating 6 meals per day. I've read so much research on 6 meals versus 3 or whatever. Doesn't matter. What does matter, if you only ate, I don't recommend you eat less than 3 meals a day, because it's so hard to eat enough protein in those 1 or 2 meals. But he's eating 6 meals a day. And I said, how many grams? First thing I said was, how many grams of, and I know the guy that he's very good. I know the guy that he uses, nutrition guy. And he says, he weighs 240, he's 6'4". And he goes, yeah, I'm eating like about 230 grams of protein a day. I go, good. Yeah, that's it. That's why he's eating 4 scrambled eggs as his 5th meal of the day at 3:00 in the afternoon. That's how we do it.
On the protein side, I'm thankful I'm relatively smaller, because there's days where I'm on like 9-10 ounces of chicken and you're choking it down. So only having to get that 175-ish number is not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, if you looked in my fridge right now, I mean, I had protein pancakes. I buy this mix, whatever, it's high protein pancakes this morning. Not much. I don't get hungry in the morning, so I just wasn't many calories worth. Or I think I had 25 grams of protein. But I've got like 2 dozen eggs in my, like, I've got I like to cook eggs, but I also buy the hard boiled and peeled already, in the bag. And so I probably I figure I eat about 18 eggs a week, and that's kind of that's something I have to keep stuff around that I can put my hands on and not mess with it and get the protein down. Just building again, that's building those habits of when you go food shopping is, so that you get home and you've got, hey, protein foods you can get to.
My wife picked up these waters that are they're like a flavored water, but they're protein. There's like 30
Yeah,
grams
good.
of protein for each one of them.
Yeah, I think they're
And
pretty slick. Good.
yeah, that's what I thought too, because I'm a drinker. Like I'll drink a gallon of water without even hesitating on a normal day, without forcing myself. So she picked those up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, this is good. I can get some
Along those lines. That's a good. I'm glad you mentioned that. So this guy that one of my virtual clients, he's a financial planner, owns his own business. I think he has 6 employees. He's in Philly, and he's 42, and he's fit, man. And he's like, how do I go like next level fitness? And we talked about dietary protein, as you can imagine. You guys you're onto my game now. This is how I talk to people. This is how everybody improves. But one of the things he did on his own was just behaviorally, because we were talking about protein shake. I have like 1 protein shake a day, and I recommend most people that's a way. I don't like more than that per se, but I'll get 60 grams of protein a day in my protein shake. But I'll make it in a blender. What he did, long story short, is he bought himself a mini fridge, and he what's the company? But there's so many on the market. Power One, what is it? Anyway, he buys these protein drinks, 42 grams of protein per serving, and he's got 5 cases of this stuff in his, you know what I mean, in his office. And it's smart. It's just a behavioral move. It's a great strategy. That's all done.
Yeah, those
Doesn't have to worry about
little ones. I mean, you can pick them up from Costco's or Sam's Club, and you just get a case of them, and they have all kinds of different flavors. We have them in the fridge, and now, so my boys that play travel soccer ball, they're trying to put on weight. They're skinny. They're bean poles, and so they're drinking a shake a day, and so it's been great when we picked that up. And now it's like you said, it's a habit. It's a behavior that and instead of me going to the pantry, because I'm horrible. Like it's like you said, you'll never fill up on chips, but you fill up on if you eat a steak. And so my problem is I would go there just because I needed something fast in between calls or in between, Zoom calls or whatever. And it was always, and if it was fast, it was unhealthy. And I love what you said there about the pre-boiled and shelled eggs. So then you just grab one and go, because I love eating eggs. We go through 24, 36 eggs a week easily. We need to have some chickens because it's about to kill me there. But I mean, and the steak, the steak, we killed a cow, or we butchered a cow a few months ago, and so like we have a freezer full of steak. So as soon as we started this, Julia was like, bet we eating steak every night. It's like, okay, let's figure out how to cook steak and eat it so you don't go crazy, eating it too much.
Good to go. Yeah, I like it.
What do you guys do with stretching? What do you do, Pete? You've mentioned stretching. I've seen you do that. That's one thing I'm poor at. I haven't gotten a good habit around that.
Yeah, I posted a 30 seconds at a time video just 4 days ago that had a hip stretch in it. And I'm jumping the gun here, but just my 2 cents worth is on stretching is it's important. Stretch the areas that you feel need attention. Our brain can tell us what's needs that attention. It's the typical suspects are going to be, your hips. If your lower back is tight, don't stretch your lower back, stretch it's 99% certainty it's that your front, the hip flexors in the front of your hip, your iliacus and your psoas, these big ropey muscles that attach your pelvis to your femur they get stiff and they pull your pelvis into a inferior position and makes your back spasm, get tight. So, stretch your hips and shoulders, and that's, and it's the pectorals in the front, nobody, as we get older and gravity, sort of pulls us this way and all this stuff up here gets tight. So I'm always, kind of looking for, strategies in a doorway or whatever to safely stretch my pectorals and, get that mobilization. And then I stretch my neck. I got neck stretches for you. If anybody, you want to, here's, I'm going to drop this on you. This is my favorite neck stretch. So stand like this, but you got to take your arms, do this, but they got to be like by my sides. Make a fist and puts, so the arms are here. And then, but it makes a difference if you've got your arms here and that you're making a fist with some tension, and then go slowly, maybe to about a 5 or 6 second count for each rotation. So standing, you got the arms slightly in front, and go ahead and get 5 reps, and then just reverse that. Oh my God, man, it sounds like a popcorn machine, my neck. But man, that's my go-to. So keep the traps relaxed. You got you balling your hands up and go ahead. And that's I do that every day. I do it at the gym. When I go to the gym, it changes my mindset, and I think about the things like stretching. There's no reason I couldn't do these stretches at home, but I'm just good that way. But this is certainly something that we can all benefit from right there. So about 5 reps, take your time, real slow rotations. That's a good one. So that's what I do. Oh yeah. And I like to do my stretches in between sets. A little warm up at the beginning, get into my strength training, do some hip flexor. I do some, just reaching over reaches, just very basic stuff, holding on to maybe the side of a squat rack or something here while I'm working on the stretching and mobilizing my hips and pelvis laterally, getting some shoulder stretch out of that. I just throw those in between the sets. And by the time, I've done 5, 6 strength training exercises, some stretches in between, then I go and do some cardio, do maybe 12 minutes of HIIT training or something, out the door, done.
You often do, so you go to the gym, you warm up, you do your strength training, you're stretching in between, then you do a little bit of cardio and HIIT all in the same day, all at the same time. How long are you at the gym?
45 to 65 minutes. So, and the only variable, really, the difference between 45 and 65 minutes is, so just to be clear, most times I will, I'll finish the workout with either, not both, but either a HIIT, which would take, typically 12, 15 minutes. That could be, like a 2-minute, 90-second sprint and 60 seconds of recovery, or 1-minute sprint, 30 seconds of recovery. Maybe repeat that 8 times. Those parameters are kind of nice right there. And that can be on an elliptical trainer. That could be a treadmill. That could be a rower. I think did I post that? Yeah, a rower, 30 seconds at a time video. It's kind of nice. So I either do a HIIT, I finish with either a HIIT or a steady state, which I did yesterday, for example. And I just got on elliptical trainer, and I just got going at my heart rate. I was at about 75% of my heart rate max, which I think I checked it. It was like 125 for me, but it's based on your age. And I did that 30 minutes, right? So that was my steady state. So I like the combination of those two. That's how that works out for me. Yeah, that workout took about an hour.
I'm good. I don't know. If
Stay
I'm
at
good.
it, right?
I'm not
So,
perfect, but good.
yeah, it's just being consistent with this stuff, and that's my message. I think everybody is I hope finding, sort of finding their way. We're gonna spend the rest of our lives finding our way. The workout I'm going to be doing a year from now is going to be a little bit different, I'm sure. I'm always refining these things and kind of looking about. I need to do a variety of things to keep my own self interested in what I'm doing. But I've got a big library to choose from, and I want everybody to sort of evolve that too.
That does bring to my question. I was going to ask you, Pete, do you like write down what your workout is? Do you go to the gym and kind of feel your way through it? Do you think like the framework of the major muscle groups and you're going to hit those and then you just like kind of mix it up? How much planning?
Right.
do you do
So
measuring?
yeah, that's a good question. I keep I don't write it down. I keep mental notes of the body parts that I'm training, and these days I'm doing a 3-way split, because if I get to the gym, if I get to the gym enough, if I know if I'm going to get to the gym at least 5 times in a week, and I'm pretty consistent, like week after week, getting there 5 times. And this is just the way it works for me right now. Is one day I'll do chest and back. The next day I'll do legs, and the next day I'll do shoulders and bis and tris, shoulders and arms. I would only recommend somebody split it that way into 3 different workouts if you were going to the gym a lot. But if it's going to be only 3 or 4 or 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, you should probably just do a 2-way split, which would be like you're pushing muscles, your chest and triceps and shoulders, and one day, and then the next day, the split I like the next day would be your pulling muscles, your back, your biceps, and your legs. That's the 2-way split that I like. Or more simply, do an upper body, lower body, upper body, lower body. Just keep splitting it that way. There's not enough of a difference between the two. Just get that work in, and see. We just need to, like. I remember when I went back to school when I was in my 40s, and I had like a mentor, and he's like, "Don't think about studying for 2 hours straight. Just make sure you're touching it a few times. Like, don't get caught up in the. Just keep on touching it. Like study. Math was killing me, right? And he goes, just study it, work on problems for 20 minutes, give it a break, then move your body a little bit, then get back into it for 20 minutes. And I found that was helpful. And I think with physical fitness, we need to keep on touching it. Just keep on doing something. Just do it, something all the time. And again, above all, is strengthening. I say, as we get older, we're not going to wish that we had done more spin classes. We're going to wish that we had strong legs and lumbar paraspinals, the muscles that keep us erect, that run along our spine. We're going to really hope and wish that they were strong, so that we can move with energy, with confidence, with posture, with good posture. When people get rounded over, those postural deformities are disastrous. Just you have your heart and your lungs right here. As soon as you start rounding your back and you see elderly people walking this way, there's less room for your heart and lungs. There's less capacity for life. So we have to so there's a direct connection between keeping our skeletal muscle strong and our bones, our skeleton strong. Very important. So strength training is the answer.
Thanks. Sean or Tersh, anything else? No.
Yeah, good.
Pete, thanks for doing this.
Right. So, all right, we'll and I'll keep on posting from time to time on our website, our challenge website, and then we'll do this I'll see you guys in 3 weeks.
Sounds good.
Keep it up. Good stuff.
Get 'em.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.